Hello,
Hello, welcome to Beauty and the Spirit. I'm Tina Thompson.
and I am Josef, and thank you for joining us this evening. How are you, Mrs. Tina?
I am doing fabulous, honey. I am living.
Look amazing in the feathers, the eyelashes, all of it. You are giving me drama, and I live. I am so
Yes,
excited we are doing this show today.
yes, I'm excited. I'm excited for this show simply for the fact that everything is everything, but it could be more if it's legendary.
Magic.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited for this show simply for the fact that everything is everything, but it could be more if it's legendary.
Legendary. Yes.
Legendary. Yes, honey.
We have
We
some
are,
great guests today, right?
yes, I was getting to say, we are packed jam with legendariness, if it is a word. Yes,
Yes, yes, yes.
we are packed jam. This show, Beauty in the Spirit, as you know, Mr. Joseph, it is meant to inspire. It is meant to talk about the fitness of life, to empower. It is meant for inclusion. It is meant for everybody to feel as if they play a part as an artist. Am I correct?
Exactly. We all have a piece of the puzzle and we all make this world a beautiful place. Whether it's dance, whether it's theater, acting, house music, all of it, the ballroom scene, we all play a part in this new world and being the new pioneers to make a difference and people unite. That's what we need right now.
Absolutely. Well, that being said, we both welcome you to this new edition, Dance in the New World. How are we approaching our audiences? Today, we have a very special show for you, as we have said, but we will be in discussion and in dialogue with some of the great minds in our artistic community. But before we bring on our legendary first special guest, we must examine a timeline of a brief history in dance. As you know, from the 15th through the 19th centuries, we have court dancing to romanticism. But I decided before that there was dance from the motherland, the archives of Africa, and the deserts of all of the earth, where the tribal dances accumulated and they brought forth this diaspora of growth and people and love and drum and all of it. But through that, we understand that after the 15th and 19th century, and you had your court dancing and romanticism, early 20th century, you have ballet to contemporary dance. And the late 20th and early 21st centuries, we had that genre of dance. But after that explosion of modern dance in the 20th centuries, the 60s saw the growth of postmodernism. Postmodernism towards simplicity, the beauty of small things, the beauty of the untrained body and unsophisticated movement. The famous No Manifesto rejecting all costumes, stories, and outer trappings in favors of raw and polished movement was perhaps the extreme in this wave. But unfortunately, the lack of costumes, stories, and outer trappings did not make a good dance show for some. But it was not long before it set the decor and shock volume that we have re-entered the vocabulary of modern dance choreography. By the 1980s, dance had come full circle, and modern dance, by this time, Mr. Woodson, it was called and coined contemporary dance. It was clearly still a high technical and political, notice I said political, vehicle for many practitioners. Existing alongside classical ballet, the two art forms were now living peacefully next door to one another with little of the rivalry and antipathy of previous eras. The present times see us most shocking work here, there, but however, these are still glimpses of the beauty that is to be had and shared. And much incredible dancing and joy in an age where dance technique has progressed further in expertise, strength, flexibility, and more than ever in history. Collaboration.
Mm.
So, in conclusion, what am I saying is that at the same time, the mass culture has experienced expansion of street dance. Soul Train performances with black dancers ignited a street culture revolution in a sense. B-boying in New York, locking in LA, popping in California, boogaloo in Oakland, California, robot in Richmond, and all their own creative explosions happened around the 60s and 70s, each with their own histories in hand, as innovators and serving as foundation. What am I saying, Mr. Woodson, is that
Mhm.
what I'm adding to this Wikipedia epic is the role of the house dance artists and
Right.
their contributions to dance. and the arts extending to the new world of minds and movement through expression as they serve as trailblazers for many, taking the music and dance cultures to clubs around the world, bringing us to recognize who, what, when, and how we approach dance in the new world.
Yes. Christina,
So,
that was beautiful. I agree 100%. I believe that back in the day, there was this division, this separation between the modern dance world, the ballet world, even like the dance world. And now we're at a point where we all need each other. In order to survive in this new world, we all need to collaborate. We all are inspired by each other. And we all need to recognize that we are all artists and we are important. And the arts are important.
Mr. Woodson, our show is just, it's going to get bigger and bigger.
Yes, I mean, we need to give the time for all of these legendary people. And again, going back to you, Mrs. Tina, you do it all. I don't think people realize that you do the marketing, the choreography, the producing, the all that making the music. It's like you are truly a Renaissance woman, and we want to thank
I'm
you.
taking it in from every artist that I love. And just this generation just needs, and that includes all of us, they need to just sit back, like he said, and just digest the beauty and the joy of what we've given this art form of our show. It's just, it's going to get bigger and bigger.
Yes, I mean, we need to give the time for all of these legendary people. And again, going back to you, Mrs. Tina, you do it all. I don't think people realize that you do the marketing, the choreography, the producing, the all that making the music. It's like you are truly a Renaissance woman, and we want to thank
I'm taking it in from every artist that I love. This generation just needs, and that includes all of us, they need to just sit back, like he said, and just digest the beauty and the joy of what we've given this art form of dance.
So moving on,
yes.
because you know I got to do this right, or she's gonna. Our next and final guest is a fabulous senior associate director of the Skin Dance Company. Her works have graced the stage of City Center and in assistance as well as dance public schools and universities throughout the U.S. and abroad. She is a dance educator, an artistic advocate, and she has served on many arts boards in our community. She also is an activist, and she also is a new pioneer, proceeding and standing on the shoulders of those that came before us and will come after us. We welcome Natasha DeVaughn.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I just want to say I have learned so much from everyone before us. Sis, that pizza story will never die, because I do believe that by sharing came the caring, and that is what made us unite on that day at the Martha Graham School. And from that day, all rest of our directional pathways intertwined, ended us up at all of the accredited institutions. That's how we was able to meet Joseph Woodson, how I was able to meet Sean McLeod, how I was able to meet Solomon, how I was able to share and teach the education of DTH, of Karen, just so, and then my fitness came through you too, Miss Tina, because I didn't do fitness, because as a dancer, the fitness is in the dance. So I want to pay homage to a person, because listening to Sean and everyone, my homage goes to, of course, God is first and foremost, but to my late mother, Louise DeVaughn, because I have learned so much from her, how to be a loving and caring woman, mother, sister, aunt, mentor, educator, and supporter. And I have learned from her at an early age that I was always an educator at heart, even though I was in the form of a dance school. We all have our beginning stories of our platforms where we began, and mine was at the Bernice Johnson Dance Center in Queens, where I met so many different people. I was telling my sister, Miss Tina, I studied, with Christian Holder, who is the nephew to Joffrey Holder, and just how Michael Peters and Ben Marine and Valerie Pettiford, just so many people who touched our lives and got us to different arenas to be who we are today. But the reason why I'm honoring my mother is because she was a backstage mom. And I didn't know that she was, because I thought that all moms were always supposed to be there for all of their children, if they could be. And then when I shared my sister's story, Miss Tina, when she lost her wonderful father, Mr. Pope, Mr. Thompson, she her mother had to work hard. And a lot of these children this day have that and then don't have that. Her mother worked hard, just like we have the stories of the Ailey, you know, his mother, cotton fields, and so, you know, so many different things that the greats before us have endured to become the legendary pioneers, so that we can walk in that path as we go through our own journey, because we are new pioneers and we have been placed on this earth to take the history that has been before us. We are currently in a new history, because this pandemic has never happened in history before, and it's taken out the lives of more people than anything else, even wars, have ever done in the time frame that we've occurred during a pandemic. So we are living the history that we've only heard our ancestors tell us about history. And now it is our responsibility at this time, all of us here and everyone who was watching, to teach our youth. And I feel like that's what keeps us young as heart, because all of us here, we all connect to the children, which is our future. Some of them come from broken homes. Some of them come from numerous homes. And you know what doesn't matter? And I believe that this is why my sister named this company called This Doesn't Matter Skin. Because underneath it, we all got a heart, we all got lungs, we got blood, muscles, veins that are the same. So once you shed the skin off, all we see is the skeletal system and the muscular system. Yeah. And we all breathe the same air, even though we need to be wearing masks right now because of this pandemic, so still be safe. Yeah. But we share the care and genuine love and not wanting anything in return besides respect of these children. And the arts is what gave us that foundation of discipline. And no, of course, with the dance history that I teach and that we all teach in some facet, is that in the European world, coming back from the intimacy into romanticism, into us performing for royalty, and we are still royal, coming from the motherland, you know, it's all coming full circle. And each ethnic group has their royalty, has their platform of when they will be embraced. And right now, Black Lives Matter is becoming more profound because it's due. And this is why I feel like our Heavenly Father has stopped. It's not just going on what's going on. You know, there's so many different backgrounds. Okay, it's a scientific thing. It's the politician. It's revelations. And we are revealing for those, everyone has who they believe in higher being, but what stands on Miss Tina, Mr. Joseph, and the Skin Dance Company is that we all share one thing that will never be destroyed. Otherwise, you can't be a part of our company. It's God. And that's the silence that we have to instill in children, that He gave us all something that will be unique from everyone here, no matter if we share dance as that common thread, or fitness, or education, or whatever it is. He gave us all something to create a unique spirit in us. It's called the dancing spirit. It is called the education, the loving spirit, the help me to help you, to help someone. It's called the 6 degrees of separation. So right now, there's a pause in life across the world, across the globe, no matter what your economic status may be, no matter what your ethnicity may be, no matter what your educational background may be and or not, we still need to breathe good air and have healthy lungs to live. Yes, we do. And so by us coming together to help each other, this platform of social media and technology, which I was thrown into too, because this younger generation, I mean, you have a baby now, they come up knowing how to press each button, because that's just the way it is. It's called an evolution. So
you know what, Miss Tasha, I'm sorry. Okay, you know, listen, I didn't get a feedback, so I just interceded. Yes. Listen, You know, it's hard for me to like listen, tell a lie because I got to be in character. You know, you got a world full of some professional liars now, so that's a whole nother situation. Okay, some of these kids acting backgrounds and listen, it's dangerous out here. Like some people will tell you things that you will like literally believe, and you know what? For me, I'm the type of person that like we're saying it takes a lot. Let me just stay where I'm supposed to stay. Is that it takes a lot for me to jump on your bandwagon before I get the research. Does that make sense?
Indeed.
Because I have been, and let me tell you, and I'm going to tell you why, and you'll see where it's coming into what we're saying. Because I went on previous shows, we've discussed this. Yes. I have been around people, yes. I have been around people that I have seen the story with my eyeballs. And then I have watched them when I'm in the corner doing something. I have watched them retell a story to somebody, and I'm sitting in the corner going, that did not happen. But because I'm into minding my business, what I learned is Tina, like I used to do with you when I would perform with your stage. I would stay in my dance bag because I was busy. I had all types of gigs going on, so I got to make sure I had tights. I had a bunch of gigs going around. I had tights. I had ready to go bag. I had outfits for the night. I had all types of stuff in that bag. I was packed for the day. So I had a point in which I was so productive. Y'all, you know what? Y'all start me. I was so productive that I didn't get into the chaos. Yeah.
Busy.
I was too busy. I never got into the chaos. So what I'm saying is chaos a good thing? You know, we have a piece around that. In the meantime, is chaos a good thing? Yes, you can learn from chaos. You know, like the universe before God created, he said, let there be light. And it was nothing but darkness. You understand? So some people like, you know, the Big Bang Theory is based around the evolution of it just happened. And chaos and dispersion evolved into this planetary brilliance that is now some solid form of matter. But that's a whole other situation before I even go into some daggone Darwinism. And I'm not doing it up here, but this is what I got to say. It's basically this. You have to learn how to research and you have to learn how to do the work. So that it mentally, like Erica said, you have to sit with yourself and you have to go to those places to say, wait, is this place of unhappiness worth me putting it on other people? And watch this. Am I responsible for some of this unhappiness that I'm bringing into my life? I think a lot of these issues were occurring in artists way before the pandemic. I think as artists, and I'm speaking for myself, because, you know, I keep telling you, people out there, they take everything. Speaking for myself, I find that a lot of artists, and Obadiah said in one show, they are very bruised individuals.
Yes.
They are that's why we are so passionate and emotional on stage, and we give the masses what their hearts and their souls are learning to see and experience, because we have so much things that they can't say because they haven't been given the gift to translate through their body all the time. So when they come to our performance, they'll see an expression in themselves that they can't express through you as the artist or the outlet or the vessel. So what I'm saying, because we are vessels, I realize and know from my self experience, there are times that I have to go into the studio in the past. I had to get it out through the dancers, or I had to get it out through a piece of work, because there's some things in my life that I've been through, Miss Tasha, and I'm going to stay on subject. There are some things in my life I've been through that I don't need everybody to know. You know why? Because I have grown from it. I was bruised. I was damaged. And I'm telling you, I went to schools and jobs. The things that was done to me as a woman of color, a lot of times, but I still came back the next day with my mascara and my eyeshadow on and my head held up high and my dignity. And I still did the work, even when they did stuff behind the scenes as a Black woman and a fitness professional. And you know, all types of, we got story. Everybody has a story is what I'm saying, Miss Tasha. Everybody got a story of injury. You need to come to a place of healing. I agree. I'm with you. But I have my own, I'm saying me, I have had, if I start calling out the people that did stuff to me, listen.
I know.
Oh my God. So anyway, let me move on so I can stay in pocket. Listen, what I'm saying to you is I'm going to ask you one more question. But I need to know this because you have been here in pocket, like Sean said, with Skin for the longest with me. And I have been on your shows, and that's how we started this relationship before all of that through our training. And then we have all our other new family that came along that God gave us, and just the blessings. You don't see that today was just a blessing. But indeed. But what I'm saying is this. For what it's worth, you don't have to listen to me. Like some of you might be like, well, who is she? You know, the kids. Well, who is she? You know, listen, I don't have time. I don't, after this, I'm going to go get me some pasta and a glass of white wine. I am not engaging. Okay, I'm unbothered because right now I'm with everybody and I need to survive this pandemic. I need to keep my mental health together because it is already stressful out here. It's so much hitting us at one time that I don't need to add to the baggage of doing petty things and doing malicious things. Like, I just can't get down with people who are malicious and disrespectful and rude. And I just don't want, Tasha, if anything during this pandemic, if for me, dancing a new world, Tasha, you know why I told Joseph I wanted to do this show? And I mean this sincerely, you know when I get really serious. Dancing a new world for me, sis, is this. We need to get back to the joy. We need to get back to why we dance. What made us fall in love with dance? How can it heal other people, like Erica said, through personal training? How did I leave the person feeling? How did they feel? We have watched many seasons, especially at Skin Dance Company. We've watched many seasons of brilliance. I have stood in that wing, and I have watched, I say it all the time, I have watched professional dancers be outwinded with a girl that had less technique. And you think I have watched it with my own two eyes, and I have said, you better listen. You right. That girl with less technique, she was clean, but her endurance and her stage presence, since you've been there, I stood in the wing and said, whoa, she's a powerhouse. And that is why I keep the fusion of skin in any of the projects that I deal with, including our Skin Arts Initiative. I want all types of kids. I want kids from the ghetto. I want kids from the highest elite schools. I want them all. I want all colors. I want everything. I just want us all to dance together. That makes sense? I want us all to be inclusive. I take pride that we are producing our own show.
Just like our legendaries before us. Yes.
And we're not on this show. I'm gonna be a part of all of their stuff if they want, but however I can help them, Karen, Sean, Erica, Kevin Rich, whatever we need to do. If you able to, I remember Kevin Richardson said to me, he said, Miss Tina, however I can help you, what I can do. Now we're all busy, so don't pull that busy card. Like Joseph said, we're all home now. So when you're playing that card, oh, I'm booked and busy. No, boo, you're lying. No, you're not. No, you're not. You need to stop. You really need to stop.
You're a Zoom button away.
You're a Zoom button away. So that being said, my last thing is this, Miss Natasha. I'm going to have you up here for this before me and Joseph conclude the show. Stay up here just for this. 9 core behaviors of people who positively impact the world.
Okay.
1, they dedicate themselves to what gives their life meaning and purpose. 2, they commit to continually bettering themselves. 3, they engage with people in open, mutually beneficial ways. 4, they invest time and energy not in what was, what is, but what can be. 5, they embrace critique. 6, they spread what they know. 7, they uplift others as they ascend. I'm going to read 7 again. They uplift others as they ascend. 8, they view the journey as the goal. 9, they use their power and influence well to witness power and influence being wielded as a weapon. It always hurts and destroys when you don't. Positive influencers use their power well and wisely. They understand the widespread influence they have, the power they have to build up and elevate or tear down. Those who impact the world for the better are careful and judicious with their words, actions, and behaviors. They operate with heart. Okay, sis, I get it. Keep my heart, right? They operate with their heart and care deeply about their leadership and communication process, style, and the influence they have. They take it seriously as a special honor and responsibility not to be flaunted or misused. They understand their special role and accept it with grace, compassion, and care. Ending question: are you longing to make a positive impact in the new world of dance?
Of course.
We thank you, Natasha DeVaughn, for joining us for Beauty in the Spirit.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone who was a part of Miss Tina's vision as well. Stay safe.
Yes, stay safe. Wow, Mr. Woodson.
Wow.
Oh.
Yes. I'm still trying to like process everything that we've just heard, the stories, the connection, all of it. It's just, I'm so inspired. I want us to keep just making change and keep talking about things that matter and just trying to uplift and empower. And like you said, like we need to acknowledge and collaborate and come together. If there's someone that you do not know, you need to reach out to them and say, hey, you know, I admire your work. I admire what you're doing. Maybe we can collaborate. Maybe we can like learn from each other. I think this pandemic is forcing everyone to look how they work, how they operate, who they talk to, who they connect with, what are they going to do next. You never know. The very person that you're ignoring, like you always say, may be the very person that you may need in order for you to go to the next step in this evolution.
Well, with that being said, Mr. Woodson, again, I agree. And I just want to say to you, as usual, I could not be blessed. Well, again, we had Miss Tasha up here, and you know, didn't I tell you I had to do a grand entrance of introduction with her? But you know, I just want to thank you, all of my guests. And you're right, I'm on a cloud of appreciation. I can't think that I was going to look for a word, and it was like appreciation. Like all of our guests were simply legendary, not just in their own right, but in the rights that they have earned, forging the dance in the new world and the generations to come and that have been before us. So, Mr. Woodson, on that note, before we wrap up Beauty in the Spirit, and the way we're going to wrap up Beauty in the Spirit, of course, is with the legendary Kevin Ambiance, okay? But I want to ask you this. What have you been using this week to glorify your beauty?
You know what, Miss Tina? I have this Trader Joe's grapefruit sugar scrub. It smells amazing. Because you know we have to exfoliate that dead skin. The dead skin has to come off. And this is a great exfoliant in the bathroom after the shower or in the shower. So, you know, a little something. And like Miss Tasha said, you need that shea butter, that mango butter afterwards. What about you, Mrs. Tina? What about you? What have you been using?
Well, being that we're talking about exfoliation, I'll say this on that note, is that sometimes you have to go to the sauna or to the shower and just scrub. Because once you scrub off all that residue and the things that no longer serve you, you come out with new skin. You come out skin. You come out with new skin. And you know what? Of course, you're just going to get a fresh towel and dry yourself off. So what I do with that fresh towel and I'm drying myself off is after that, I stay slightly wet because I don't want to lose some of the moisture. And I add sweet almond oil.
Yes, I see. Sweet almond oil.
And I also put it on the heels of my feet and on my legs because it helps me with my extremely dry skin because I take so many showers and my skin is so sensitive what I eat in the shower. So I'm not going to stop taking a lot of showers. So the skin will pay for that. That's a price for being clean.
Yeah, During the pandemic and after.
During the pandemic, there's a price for being clean. So with that price, I use that arm and all. And you know what? It's not that expensive. I pay for a couple of bucks, and it's worth it. So, Mr. Sir in the red, I was going to say raspberry beret, but in the red, what should we call that hat? Derby?
Fedora, derby, whatever we want.
Well, I think that you are so fine and so handsome. Like me and Tasha always tell you, listen, the woman or the men around it, y'all are just so gorgeous. Your skin is glowing, the shirt, everything about you is just fabulous.
Tracks beauty. Flock together. Beautiful and birds of never flock together, and you are beautiful, you are divine, and you are gracious, and you have brought us all together. And we have all made these connections today. So I just want to say thank you again for Dance in the New World. May we all come out of all of this supporting each other and loving each other and being.
We must always keep this garden growing, children. You must plant your seeds in the sun and let it grow and grow and grow into the sun, children. Don't get me started. I'm gonna go. Girl, I can't. I love you. I love you. I love you. Happy World Pride! Happy Pride, New York!
Can we all come together? Can we all come together? Please. Come. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Dum 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 bra. Dum to the bra. Bri baba bri baba. Bri baba bri baba. Bri baba bri baba. Bri baba bri baba. Bri baba bri baba bri baba bri baba. Ding dong dong ding dong dong. Rub it down to the doom 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 to the doom. Dum 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 dum. Ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Dum 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 bra. Ding da da, dum dum dum, ding da da, dum dum dum.